The reason I love life, not that because it's perfect or that it's certain, because we could be gone tomorrow, but the fact that in parts that we don't feel comfortable or we don't have information, we're afraid to go to this next level. All these little parts of ourselves, like you, to say, okay, I was an amateur fighter, let me be a pro fighter. So you leveled up, you jumped the timeline, let's go pro. You were willing to expand your vessel, expand your frequency to receive more. And through you dealing with all the pain and the gain of fighting, you got to a point where your body was like being broken down, however, and you said, you know what? You were able to create something to pick the body back up and give it a better score. Spiritual Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Bigger, and we're back again for another episode. And today I'm excited because this guy who I'm going to invite soon, his program that I've taken, my biomechanics, Mark Matsumoto. He is a NASM certified trainer, a coach, a phenomenal individual. He's the founder of my biomechanics. And I like to say it's shadow frequency for the body through movement. And I did his 4-week program. And guys, I'm telling you, like the movements we were doing, I have so much energy. It was like 15 to 20 minutes max, but I feel incredulous. Like in my body, after I move with his movements and his paradigm of what he's given is phenomenal. So I wanted to bring him on a podcast. I wanted to talk to him and get into his story or who he is. But Mark, welcome to Spiritual Fitness Podcast. Thank you for being here. How are you?
Good, man. I appreciate you having me. I mean, I know we just met, but that conversation we had was beautiful and the vibe, love the energy. And I was like,
yeah,
I'm here, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, because I think, for the world at large, the collective, I think we're all in this transitional phase when everyone's making a pivot, right? AI is advancing, technology is advancing. And I feel that we're becoming disconnected from our bodies as well as disconnected from our hearts. So in spiritual fitness container, I want to bring people back into the spirit of their soul so they can become fit in that presence. But with your training and what I've witnessed is that it opened me up. Like, honestly, in some parts, I can't explain it. And maybe you can kind of go into detail what was happening with the body. I felt in certain moments of movement in your course, I got a little emotional. Not like I wanted to cry, but it was like opening a part of me. It felt good. Why is that? Like, what is the intentions behind what you provide? And
it's the fascia inside you. Like you said, like this new day and age, we're so used to just sitting on the phone where AI's got us control, computers, video games. So we kind of just store all this stuff inside of us and it has nowhere to really go. When you start to break apart like the fascia and you get it moving, it's like a river, right? Like it starts to like flow through you. And I don't really know exactly what it does with the trauma, but like it releases some stuff inside you, stuff that you stored in there from a long time ago. And now here it comes, right? It's showing you maybe this pain is involved with this certain trauma right there. And by you moving it, you ultimately start to feel better.
Yeah, and I want to add, I dislocated my left shoulder 3 times in my life. What happened in the course of my time of lifting weights, I put a lot of pressure on my right side of my body. And at one time, I think I was lifting like 185 on a supported bench, and I went too low. So since then, that's probably like 2021, my shoulder, it's like been hurting, like not hard, but like when I go to bed. But now that you're talking and I'm thinking, I'm like, my shoulder don't hurt anymore. Like when I go to bed and I wake up, like this part doesn't hurt. And so I notice in the movements, because the movements within your program are complex. So you might be going right and then opening up left. In the mind, like when I'm first doing it, it didn't make sense. But over time, my body feels like this feels good. This feels safe. This feels healthy. What is the complexity of movements? What does that do for the neural pathways in our mind or our psychology? Why is it complex? Oh, that's what I'm thinking it is.
It's weird because like we walk every day, but like if I tell you to do a motion that involves you walking, like all of a sudden we just go like brain dead almost because mind body connection, it's not really there. I will say with these workouts, as I'm sure you notice, like normal stuff, right? We can get down, we could put headphones in and like, vibe into it. But this, it's like, you got to be there. Like I'm feeling what's going on here. I've been neglecting this, right? And now it's just, your body's amazing. And like what it can do for you, if you actually put time and energy into it, it's amazing what it will do.
When you're saying that, now I understand what you provide is more workouts that even forces you or allows you to be present within your body. Because the movements are like not just a stationary, like shoulder press or regular squat. Like we were doing squats with one dumbbell when we were like, I guess putting it behind us and then jumping up. And I'm like, what? But you cannot not be present doing that. You have to be present. And that's what it is. It's teaching me and my body to be here in my body, focus on a movement with intentions, and do every rep the same or even better. And over time, I was building, I call it body confidence, where my energy was open up. Like it was like you were training my energy to be more, but we still was doing the same movement, but it was just opening me up to feel safe in a movement.
Right. Yeah. And then, when you're done, you're like, man, I feel like a superhero. I feel good. I feel upright and like everything feels nice and perfect.
Yeah. And then you really focus on posture. I've noticed in some of the movements where you would step, you were like posture strong, like posture work on your core, like elongate your vessel, right? Like don't shrink, open up. How does that anatomy of the body help us in life for longevity?
It's like a building, right? It's like
Yeah.
the more it's like squish, the more likely I'm going to collapse. The more open we are, things are plumbed up nicely. It's like you got a beautiful thing you're looking at now.
And I've noticed over time, like my posture just walking, my shoulders come in like this. I think I'm standing tall. So I ordered me a posture thing to wear. But on a spiritual note, I realized the more I can open my vessel, especially my heart, to receive life, I can get more life coming my way instead of me feeling like with a closed heart or center, thinking I got to create so much of life. I can let life come through me. And it's beautiful because I feel like the spiritual part of our life, the shadow part of our essence is so crucial for our evolvement, but we can't see it. So therefore we don't tap into it, or we don't have the information, we don't have the awareness. But now what you offer is giving you that part to tap into your spiritual and your shadow side through movement. But let's get into the story of Mark. What was your journey like? I know you was a former pro fighter. How did you get to this space to want to help people evolve their bodies for performance, to transform their minds and change their life? Like, what was your intention? Like, take me back. Was it 19, 20? Was it like, what year were you like, man, you know what? I just want something better for myself.
I think it was like 2017, but prior to that, because I was just starting to be like, no, I'll go back a little bit more. I was a union iron worker, so my job was the connector. I'd have to climb the columns. I hooked up LA high rises, Orange County high rises. It was a tough job. Back hurt, shoulders hurt, hips hurt. It was a mess, right? There was a point in that time where like I even started like popping pills just to like deal with the pain because it would just hurt so much. And I'm trying to make a living at that time, right? Like I'm trying to provide for the family. And it's like, hey, if this gets me through the day, this is what I got to do, right? Then a moment came, quit, had to come to Jesus talk basically. And, I wanted to turn my life around. And I was like, you know what? I used to fight amateur. I'm going to go professional just to say that, I did it and this is what I'm going to do. But in that process, I found like, no shade against them whatsoever. I found these amazing strength conditioning coaches. And at that time, I don't think it was good for my body. Every year, it felt like I was getting like deteriorated and getting like worse almost. I seen like different courses happening, different people teaching stuff. And I kind of took a little bit from everybody, from different systems and stuff like that. And my goal was like, you know what? I've been that fighter. I've been that guy. So let me help people out so they don't have to go down the same route that I did. I mean, in a sense, compared to some other friends I had, you could say I was lucky that I didn't keep going down that route because that wouldn't have been good for me at all. So now it's like, let me help you. Let's not go through this big old maze now. Let's just cut straight through it. Let's work this out together so that you don't have to go down the route I did, basically.
Yeah, and I think that's the beautiful thing about life. I was talking to someone yesterday about the reason I love life, not that because it's perfect or that it's certain, because we could be gone tomorrow, but the fact that in parts that we don't feel comfortable or we don't have information and the ego wants to protect us or we're afraid to go to this next level, all these little parts of ourselves, like you say you was a union worker, you were climbing on things and you quit. So you had a transition, you stopped that to say, okay, I was an amateur fighter. Let me be a pro fighter. So you leveled up, you jumped the timeline. Let's go pro. You were willing to expand your vessel, expand your frequency to receive more. And through you dealing with all the pain and the gain of fighting, you got to a point where your body was like being broken down, however. And you said, you know what? You were able to create something to pick the body back up and give it a better score. And I want to talk to the people out there that might be fearing loss or they're afraid to move to a different city or leave a relationship or a job or a community. There's so much greater later that you cannot see in the present moment. And if you just trust, and like Mark said, come to a Jesus moment and really sit with yourself, listen to your heart, trust your intuition, a miracle will come through that. And I believe what you provide is a miracle for the body because what you teach, I've taken so many different formulas of working out, Barry's boot camp, soul cycle, CrossFit. Like I've done most of everything. But for you to give us something, at least in this program that I've now, I think this is like the beginners that I was taking 15, 20 minutes. I feel like I got so much out of that. It was efficient. And you be like, oh, that's it for the day. And I'm like, what? Like, we done? Like, but I also have more energy to do other things. But those movements open up my energy to feel good about the energy that is in my body, that is available to me. So I just want to say your story is phenomenal because you took your life, what was given, and you said, how can I make this better? Or what do I need to let go of? And you tapped into another frequency of yourself to create something to help others. Because I know you lived in California for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And then you just recently moved to the East Coast. You're in Pennsylvania. Like, how was that transition for you personally, mentally, emotionally? Like, what was that like for you?
This was brought up before we moved, but at first I was like, no, I don't want to leave here, right? I want to be selfish. I want my beach. I want my good weather. I want my in and out whenever I want it. But honestly, traveling across the states and just seeing, different places, stopping places. Once I got here, I was like, wow, this feels like home. I didn't think that was going to be the case, honestly, when I was coming over this way. And it felt like home when I got here. And it took me a minute to adjust to the whole California lifestyle, just like going nonstop, like I couldn't find peace at first because I was so like, I got no traffic to deal with. I got nobody yelling at me. I got no like crazy deadlines right now. But like now it's like, I really get to appreciate just being here. I'm almost in like a little forest over here. And it's like, it's peaceful and it's really nice. And how you're talking about people scared to do something. It's like, you don't know what that's like till you hop over that fence right there. And it's probably going to be a blessing for you.
And the thing is, it's a blessing because you can't see it. I always feel like the greatest blessings come when you're not looking for them or when you can't see them. I remember maybe 8 weeks ago, I started getting into Krav Maga. So I just want to take a class. And before I would go to class, I had so much fear about hurting my shoulder. Remember, I dislocated my shoulder on me getting hurt. And I don't want to hurt someone. This is the fear. This is my fear mind. Now, 8 weeks in, now I have an instructor come and we do it one-on-one. And now my body is so programmed for impact, not afraid. And I'm now have this fear all because I took one step. I took a baby step. I always say your environment, your location, where you live, and your mind and your heart, and then in the place of livelihood will dictate and depict how you feel, what you think, and what you attract. And I always believe our greatest joy happens in every moment that we're not looking for it. And I think what you offer to the world through your training and your program is joy moving through the body through movement. Because what you're giving people is not normal. Like I said again, it's complex. So let's talk about the type of people you train or coach, because now your business is online, right?
All online now. I had a gym in California. I sold it to somebody else. And then shortly after that, moved out here. And then I had some clients from over there. And I was like, hey, man, I did this before in 2020 because the COVID era. I was like, I'm going to do some online training. If you want to come with me, let's make it happen. And there's quite a few that actually stay with me and doing great, amazing. And it's been a beautiful thing just training people online. And my main focus right now is wrestlers. Always been high caliber athletes because like I said, I went through so much pain, professional fighting, and just stuff I wish like I knew now, I knew back then. It's like trying to help the youngsters out. Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do it like this. How about you try it like this way? And maybe you'll save your career a little bit longer and get some more longevity out of your career at the same time. But now I work with influencers too, surfers, people that own their own businesses. And my favorite part is meeting new people, and especially they have like a good energy, good vibe.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking that because I get DMs all the time, right? About, oh, Eric, I can't lose weight, or I got sciatica pain, my ankles, my bottom of my feet hurt. I don't have a gym. Like it's all these, I would say reasonable excuses. And I think what people are looking for, at least this is what I try to provide in my life for social media, people in general, is something that's relatable. What is something that relatable to most people that they can start with at home or just within their environment to start opening their body up for change so they can get the results they're seeking or feel better about their bodies that they're living in?
Myofascial release should probably be like the first one, because then you want to be like, I feel all right. I should go work out right now. Like my body feels like it's going to be able to handle whatever it is I got to do next. You just have to learn your body while doing this myofascial release.
because I like the name My Biomechanics. How did you get to that name and where did that come from?
The wife actually came up with it.
I don't think people understand how valuable and important just women are in everybody's life, especially your spouse, your partner, because they are the energy feed into the vision, right? And once they understand what your idea is, they help you amplify just with a name. And a name is like, is this fly, my biomechanics? I don't know if this is true, but this is what I've heard. I heard that Carl Jung, he's the guy who talks about like psychology. He's a psychologist from like way back in, and Albert Einstein. And they said both of them guys got their inventions and their ideas from their woman, but it's not documented. And they knew the women back in the day couldn't acknowledge it because they probably wouldn't take it in their husband, their partner. So I like to say behind every successful man, there's a wife, there's a woman, or there's women to help that vision become part of a greater world. I want to get into pain, right? So growing up in Baltimore, very tough environment. I've seen a lot of negativity, a lot of bad things. So you got to be strong, you got to be tough. And so I used to go into spaces like, say, recovery and get massages, right? And I got muscles and strong. When people would like be hard on my body, I'm like, man, like relax, like that hurt. But now getting into this stuff with you and just people that's relatable, I'm understanding the importance of pain for the gain in your body. So I've been started to do deep tissue massage, right? And I'm like, why does something that hurts in my body is actually good for me? Like you said, fascia releasing. What is your knowing behind pain moving through the body to transmute or open up the body for more?
I don't know if it's correct, but
Yeah.
it just see back to like, what people did prior to us having like what we have now. It's like you had to walk up that hill to get that water, right? There was a reward after it. I'll even say now, like one of my favorite things to do is come wintertime is I love chopping down the trees that are dead because I use it for inside to heat up the house. And it's a hard workout. Like when I'm done, I'm like, man, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, but it's so fulfilling and rewarding to be like, I did this to heat the house, right? But I had to endure some pain almost to actually get the benefit out of it. I think a lot of people are scared to get to face with pain like that. But, after you get it, you manhandle a little bit, right? Good thing will come out of it.
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying this because I want people to know, right? So I've been doing like research on like, okay, what creates a strong wealth frequency and what creates a frequency within someone's body for the capability to receive in their nervous system with safety and not fear. Because sometimes we can get things that are great, but our nervous system doesn't feel safe to keep it. So then we sabotage it or we give it away. So when I was doing this research, they started bringing up things like deep tissue massage, cold plunge, cryotherapy, getting up at 5 a.m. when you don't want to get up, running late at night when you're tired. Like everything is in a space where you're uncomfortable. But it's the researcher is saying over time, you build a vessel that can endure more life, and then more life comes into your life. So then I'm like, okay, a lot of my clients are high-end CEOs. They do well, but when I look at their story, they've been through a lot of pain, but they didn't let that pain take them out. They actually transmuted the pain for gain, and then they were able to receive more wealth, more opportunities, more privilege, or things of that nature. Like I came to LA 15 years ago. So people only see what I show, but they don't know the things I had to endure to be here, to have a podcast, right? That's how I know what you're doing and moving this energy through our body. Even like some first time doing your program, I'm like, like I was judging myself. I'm like, am I doing this right? You'll say on the thing, like, it's okay. Just go with it, flow with it, trust yourself. And then over time, it clicks. But I think we're being programmed because of AI to not follow that road that's less traveled because it's uncomfortable and it's not as much support or it's not as noisy. And I think that's why getting in the body and starting with the body will actually help you in your life.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's funny. Always have people that go, I need to train first before I train with you. And I'm like, no, just start somewhere, right? And then you'll get into it.
Because I think, again, this is what I tell all people. I said, we have to stop looking at life from the perception of life and looking at the reality of life. And social media has perceived and personified everyone, even me. I tell people, like, look, I'm not a diva. Like, don't treat me like a diva because you see me on something. I'm real as you. And I said, those people you judge, they might be going through more pain than you've ever experienced. And I said, you want to know why? Because they're allowing themselves to be seen and be vulnerable where they're not safe because anyone can say anything. When you're always visible and you're always showing up, you're open. You're open for feedback. You're open for ridicule. You're open for hate. But when you constantly show up, you start building internal confidence to do the thing that you thought you couldn't do. Like for me, it was jumping in the ocean, taking a fighting class. Now I'm doing this. So it's a way of life. And I think what we have, you and I together, or just apart, what we're doing for the fitness community is opening people up to the truth that sits in their body. Movement.
Yeah, without a doubt. Even backtracking a little bit, like people are always like, "Oh, I need to like sweat like this crazy, and I need to like everything needs to be hard for me." But you know, with these workouts that people do, it's like, yeah, you get a good sweat on, but it doesn't need to be like this big. I will say, people that watched it from like outside perspective, they always go, "That doesn't look that hard at all." And then as soon as they start to do it, they're like, "Oh my gosh." I really get myself into, not in a bad way, but it's just like they didn't think they were going to feel all those things from looking at an outside perspective.
Yeah, because they're judging it. It's perception. Perception is not reality. For you moving forward in your life and in your training regimen, and then just as a man, what do you think men need? Because I feel like there's a disconnect in a male collective, and we need to come together. What do you feel like we're lacking, and what do you feel like we can use moving forward?
Community, I know, is a big one that men lack. I even have people that DM me and I'm like, you could do it, man. You know what I mean? Like, just go ahead and just handle it. You'll be all right with it. It's just, but like, I'm not even like really close friends. Some of those people I don't even like really even know, right? They need community. They need somebody to encourage them, sharpen them up a little bit. And I feel like that's one thing that we definitely need. Moving forward, I really believe every man needs to be working out. There should be a set standard on like these things that you should be able to do. Cause I mean, it's not always just about working out, looking good, but it's like, am I going to be able to help out this woman over here that might need some help? Right. Can I help out my future kids with stuff? That's our roles as like males right there. We need to be the lead and we should be strong enough to help with whatever situation, not just lifting up houses, but
Yeah.
I feel strong enough to help my wife out with something because she needs me there. But I feel strong enough. I don't feel like somebody who needs to go to alcohol all the time and whatever it is to get myself situated before I do something.
And I think that's the thing I'm learning because like I don't train anymore. They're like, yeah, I want to look good, I want to feel good, but I'm really trying to tap into my soul and my body through movement. And when I do that, I get new ideas, I get new downloads. Like literally after I did your program, guys, after I did his program, I said we should do a group container together. We should do a group program. But it wasn't like I thought about it. It came to me. And that's through the power of moving my body in that energy that you provided. I'm like, man, this was great. I feel high. Like, let's do something. And then here we are on a Zoom having an interview about movement, healing, spirituality, and how we can transform lives, together or collectively for the male and for women, because we all need each other. I just met Mark, but energetically and what he offers, I just love what he has to provide because he has helped me all because of something he created. And his creation is wanting me to create more things because of his energy that he put into it. You can tell it was from a loving place. It was from his soul. It was from his heart. And I think we can do more things like that for the world. Then better people will evolve and they'll feel safe in their body and they'll feel confident. So, Mark, I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And by the way, I know you got other programs. What programs is the most common right now that people are in, or what could people sign up to? Do you have a community that we can join? Like, how can we get into your vortex? We want to work with Mark.
I'm putting up my programs right now to sell individually for like until this week. After that, they're all going to go on the new subscription library, and I'm actually going to get more community based on it. Like, I get on there, we'll zoom it out. Somebody sends a video like, "Hey, I need help with this exercise," or we can even start working out together on there.
When you think of spiritual fitness, what comes to mind? What you think about? And the second is, what is some inspiration or some words of encouragement for people out there that might be going through a tough time or is looking for change?
Spiritual fitness, the first thing I think about is you. The first that I ever seen that, and I was like, wow, this is good. Like, he's really trying to put the body and the mind together, trying to make it whole for everybody. So that's you, bro. Words of encouragement, just encourage each other daily, be loving towards one another, and everything's going to be all right. We do everything day by day. You're going to be all right.
Beautiful. Well said. Simple to the point, but it's going to get you over the hill. Be good to yourself. Love yourself. Follow Mark or My Biomechanics. And then website, mybiomechanics.com. I'll put everything in the show notes. Connect. And if you like this episode, share it, download it, subscribe. And thanks again for another episode on Spiritual Fitness. Mark, you're great. Stay tuned, stay open, stay spiritually fit. Love everyone. We talk to you soon. Peace.